Welcome back to another reaction for the Most Heretical Last Boss Queen Season 2 Episode 4.
お待たせしました。替えの服まで用意していただきありがとうございます。
見心は決まりましたか？
はい。プライド、僕を酒場から助け出してくれたのはどの方かな？
バル、今すぐこちらに出てきてください。
はあ？ふざけんな。
He's the only one that is not something like a noble, right? I do wonder how he is going to react.
俺には用はねえだろ。おい、待ってあるし。あの坊ちゃんが起きたなら先に俺に。くそ。
Wait a second. Is this because she gave him a command?
そうだった。彼に許可したのはレオン王子を見張っている間のみの無礼。それ以外の時は霊族の契約の効果でこうなっちゃうのよね。
Okay, never mind.
君がこの度は本当にありがとうございました。
But he still was bound by a different kind of contract, or one of the earlier contracts still in effect.
あなたの助けがなければどうなっていたことか。このお礼は必ずお返しいたします。
いや、それは私ではなく我が主のご命令で。くそ、おい主、いい加減にしろ。レ
オン様への無礼を許します。
主の命令で回収しただけだ。てめえのためなんざじゃねえ。
I also totally forgot this prince loves his citizens, so he doesn't really care about commoner nobles. And this guy, Val, helped him not end up in a position where he can't support his citizens anymore. So naturally, he's going to be somewhat thankful. However, you never know with nobility. They can be assholes even though you were helping them.
関係ありません。あなたに助けられたのは紛れもない事実なのですから。
Exactly.
本当に感謝しております。君たちも本当にありがとう。必ずお礼をさせてもらうよ。薄気味悪さのかけらもねえな。
行きましょう。城へ。
And kill the brothers, I guess? I mean, most likely not. We are going to have some other little delay going, I guess. Cruel Queen makes a declaration. I don't see a cruel queen, so...
突然の訪問、申し訳ありません。グレゴリオ国王陛下、どうかご無礼をお許しください。ここまでの経緯について説明させていただきたいのですが、その前に一つお願いがありまして、エルヴィン第二王子、オーマー第三王子をこの場にお呼びいただけませんか？
I was wondering where they are. Additionally, he does not look good. I'm assuming he's not sleeping well. I mean... No, this was not the one. We did not know that he is unwell, right? Maybe the brothers are responsible for that one as well. Also, if this is his reaction, maybe he already knew the brothers were up to no good. But maybe the reaction did not happen yet.
ぜひお会いしたいので。
いえ、息子たちはレオンの婚約者とあらばぜひにと望むでしょうが。
あら。
Are you cheating your sons. I feel like that is not a good idea.
嫌ですわ国王陛下。この度の訪問、私の立場は婚約者ではなく女王代理。正式に我が母上より許可をいただいてこちらを訪れました。もう一度おね。
So she's the princess. A little bit hard to keep track with all the different people. It makes sense. So her mom was like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want, honey. And she's doing exactly that. Okay. I do wonder if the prince is going to fall for her like so many others have or not.
お願いいたします。エルヴィン第二王子、ホーマー第三王子をどうぞこの場に。
I mean, at this point, it is not a question, it's more a command. Something diplomatically. So you can't really say no, because the whole problem was, if we can believe the past we saw of the prince, that, or the potential future essentially, where she was threatening him to destroy his homeland, meaning that her country is just stronger. So the king now has to abide by what she wants, as long as she is here as a diplomatic entity instead of a potential fiancé.
兄君、ご無事だったのですね。
お会いできて光栄です。エルヴィン第二王子、ホーマー第三王子。この度は私の大切な婚約者が随分とお世話になりました。
So what do we have planned? She was not happy last episode. So I am assuming she has a devious plan to, again, she's not going to kill them, but at least put them in their place.
ところで国王陛下、私の話の前に今回の件でレオン様からお話があるそうです。
父上、僕は昨晩城下の酒場で動けなくなっているところをプライドに救われました。エルヴィンとホーマーが僕を陥れるために僕の部屋を訪ね、薬入りのワインを飲ませて酒場へと置き捨てたのです。
I guess he did not know. Secondly, they are naturally going to say, oh no, we did not do anything. Where's the proof? Kind of deal, right?
待ってください、兄君。何か勘違いをされているのでは？ホーマーの言う通りです。昨夜、確かに僕たちは兄君と別れを惜しみ、共にワインを楽しみました。しかし、薬を持ったなど何の証拠があって。プライドの部下が僕を酒場から救い出してくれた。その彼らが薬を飲まされたと判断した。そのようなことは証拠にはなりません。すべてはプライド第一王女のフリージア王国の一方的な主張に過ぎません。
I mean, diplomatically, this is not a good way to put it, because she's right here as a representative of the queen, and you are more or less insulting their kingdom. Again, diplomatically, not a good idea. You can put it a different way, where you are like a little bit more cautious. But this, I feel like, went a little bit too far.
その通りです。フリージア王国が兄君に取り入り、さらには僕とホーマーをはめ、理由をこじつけ、我が国との戦争のきっかけを作ろうとしているに違いありません。大体なぜ都合よく兄君を見つけられたというのです。これはやはりフリージア王国が何らかの手段で兄君をかどわかしたか、取り入るかをしてこの一件をでっち上げたのでは？
again, saying that while a representative of the kingdom is in the same room is insane. This is a diplomatic incident of the highest caliber. You can't do that. At worst, it is going to come to war because of your careless insults and whatnot. In the best case, the relationship is going to be strained quite a bit. Unless they get punished.
エルヴィン、ホーマー、私は忠告したはずだ。今のうちに己が過ちを顧みよと。大変失礼をいたしました。心よりお詫びを申し上げます。アネモネ王国グレゴリオの名において、エルヴィン・アドニス・コロナリア、ホーマー・アドニス・コロナリア、王族としての全権限を剥奪する。捕らえよ。
I mean, he did not really have a choice. There are, in regards of punishment, he has a wide array of things he could do. However, it seems like he knew that they were up to no good, and they seems to not behave for quite some time. So he didn't really have a choice to mend the relationship again. An apology is not enough. You need to punish them. So what punishment can you give them? You could give them like house arrest, but there are many things. This one probably the most secure because essentially this is an open situation right now. Normally you could, behind closed doors, maybe have a little bit of a trade going on. You could negotiate what kind of punishment would be deemed acceptable and would mend the relationship at least. But because this is in an open space, you have to more or less guess what is a good punishment. This one is more or less the surefire way. Okay? They are not part of the royal family anymore. Whatever they say is not what the king and the royal family of this kingdom is saying about you. It's just a normal citizen. So hopefully it is not going to escalate, which seems like a solid idea.
離せ！無礼者！僕とホーマー以外誰が王位を継ぐというのですか！
Your brother's right there. I feel like he's the most suited to take the place of king, right?
国王陛下、予知をいたしました。陛下は私に、いえ、本来は我が母上に何かお話ししたいことがあったのではありませんか。内容はレオン・アドニス・コロナリア第一王子と私との婚約の白紙の打診ではないでしょうか。レオン様に王位継承権を正式に返還するために。
なぜそれを！
How did you know? So that is why they went out of their way. Interesting, okay. Because they just tried to get Leon out of the way, even though he married into the neighboring kingdom and therefore could not have been king. But they knew about the king trying to get him back. Now I wonder why the engagement even happened. Was it really, hey, those bad rumors, Leon is unfit to be king, we need to marry him away? And then they find out, hey, this is mostly bullshit and the brothers are doing some nefarious stuff. So they wanted him back. That's the timeline.
プライド第一王女殿下、この度は
お待ちください。どうか私の話を先にお聞き届けください。女王代理として私は母上より正式にご許可をいただきました。今この場においてレオン・アドニス・コロナリア第一王子との婚約解消を我が国から願いたく私は参りました。
バカ。
So the idea is that her kingdom, which is the stronger one, is dissolving the engagement instead of the other kingdom trying to do that. So that means the negative perception is going to be on her and the kingdom of Frisia instead of Leon, because whoever is initiating the dissolution of the engagement is most often the one that is seen negatively, right?
兄君は完璧な王子だ。フリージアから婚約解消を言い渡される理由がない。その通りだ。
理由ならばあります。私とレオン様との間に婚約の必要がなくなったからです。今回の婚約は我が国とアネモネ王国との同盟関係を強固とするためのもの。そして周辺諸国にそれを示すためのものです。
So are we just going to be friends and that is the idea? Otherwise an engagement and marriage is the best way to get two countries to grow closer and for other countries to see instantly, okay, they are together. They're working with one another. If we fight, if we try to attack one of the countries, the other one is most likely going to help them. So better not do it. So what do we have as replacement?
私は予知しました。レオン様亡き後の変わり果ててしまったアネモネ王国の未来を。レオン様、あなたはこの国に必要な人間です。あなたが私と同じように自国の民を愛する王となるのならば、私たちは盟友です。婚約など必要ありません。そうです。私たちの仲が強固であれば、同盟関係としてこれ以上の証はないでしょう。我が国がアネモネ王国に求めているのは、これまで通りの対等な同盟関係。それを強固にすることです。婚約解消程度で崩れぬ関係こそ、その理想。私は第一王女として必ず盟友であるレオン様とそれを叶えてみせましょう。
I don't know how strong a sworn ally is as a relationship. Again, marriage, very official, very easy to spot. But sworn ally is like more or less a verbal promise. Now they could still have like a contract going where they say we are going to be on a non-aggression pact, we are going defensive pact, whatever. But it is definitely not as strong as marriage.
叶える。絶対に。見てろよ兄君、やれよ。意志なき人形が王などになれるものか。俺やホーマーの内側にすら気づけなかった人形ごときがこの国を治められると思うな。 きっと数年も待たずに瓦解するに決まっている。
So these two are essentially normal citizens, right? So they are insulting royalty, right? The royal family? Wouldn't that be grounds for punishment? Or are we going to be like, okay, their royal status is floating in a floating state. As soon as they get thrown out, that is when they lose it. So they're essentially still royalty for the time being. Otherwise, again, I feel like they deserve some punishment.
その時に分かるはずだ。俺こそが王の器にふさわしかったと。民に自己の皇帝をすがるような薄気味悪い貴様などより俺の方が。
黙りなさい。よく聞きなさい。レオン様は誇り高き王となる器の方です。人形などではありません。己よりも民を愛し、周囲の期待に応え、王となるべくその身を捧げてきた尊いお方です。数年も待たずに瓦解するに決まっているですって。私の余地ではレオン様なきあなたの王政こそがそれでした。あなたたちの王政で民は困窮し、国を去り貿易は減少し、今のこの暮らしが嘘のようにアネモネ王国も王族も衰退の一途をたどっていました。
姉君。
Now, again, she does have the ability of future sight, which is somewhat selective. Of course, that's the knowledge from the game that the country plunged into disaster. I wonder how that happened. Probably a death spiral somehow. But being so poor that your citizens cannot even believe that there was a time where you were prosperous is quite the downfall.
そしてあろうことかあなたたちは国が傾いた途端、我が国にいるレオン様へ救いを求めるのです。はあ、そう、それがゲームの中の彼ら。
Okay, the game.
自分たちが陥れた相手であるレオンに彼らは何度も訴えかける。戻ってきてくれと。そして兄君はもうアネモネ王国の民のことはどうでもいいのかというその言葉に怒り狂ったレオンが彼らを追い出した後、ティアラにすがりながらも泣く姿はとても悲痛だった。彼らは幼い頃からレオン第一王子に劣等感を抱いていた。だからレオンの悪評を広め、その結果レオンはフリージア王国に婿入りさせられてしまう。だけどそのことが国王にバレ、やはり第一王位継承権はレオンにと国王に告げられた上で忠告される。
今のうちに己が過ちを顧みよ。
そこで彼らは
So it is more or less how I described it. He had a bad reputation. The king married him off. He then found out that the bad reputation is more or less just rumors spread by the brothers. He wants Leon back, and he told them, "Hey, you have to stop that." They don't. We get to this position. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that checks out.
レオンを今度こそ王位継承の座から突き落とすため、酒を飲ませて酒場に置き去りにした。これだけでも下道の極みなのに、彼らはさらに。
貴様
And they are poisoning the father, right? Because he doesn't look good. And I feel like that is what they would do.
どこまで予知していると言うんだ。
いろいろ知っていますよ。例えばあなたたちが国王陛下にこれまでの悪行を知られ、やはりレオン様に王位継承権をと告げられたのは
I mean, they did say something on that line previously, because they were like, how do you know about that? Which means they did also know.
もうすでに数日前のことでしょう。覚えておきなさい。あなたたちが今後どのように罰せられようとも、二度とこの国と、そして我が盟友であるレオン様に危害を加えることは許しません。もしその禁を破れば、プライドロイヤルアイビーという一個人があなたたち二人の敵となります。そして私がこの手で必ず罰します。
運よく女王制の国に生まれた女ごときが。
What do you mean? You are also born a prince. It's not like you deserve to be a prince. You didn't work for it. You're just an asshole prince. And you do see the other guy, the brother, more or less just got roped into this. He's like, I'm done. I just want to live in peace now.
王族としての誇りも義務も知ろうとしないあなたたちはそれ以下です。
He's going to attack her, right?
レオンがゲームスタート時に心を病んでいたのは、酒場で発見された時に自分と一緒にいた民全員が罪人とされ、プライドに命じられ、その愛するアネモネの民を自ら手にかけることになったから。そして無実の民を罪人としてプライドに差し出したのがこの弟二人。しかも彼らはレオンがフリージア王国に移り住んですぐに国王が病で急死すると、王位を継いでやりたいだけやった後はレオンに後始末全てを押し付けようとする。ティアラからもレオンがアネモネ王国に帰るように説得してほしいと訴えたり、ティアラを誘拐し無事返してほしくば国へ帰れとレオンを脅したり。
I mean, so they are the big evil of the game? At least for this storyline. Because there are different characters, right? And different storylines for each character. But these are essentially the bad guys for Leon's route. Right? Because they are just evil. They get him out of the country. They run the country into the ground. They more or less brought the whole situation about where he had to kill the citizens. Then they come back and they kidnap Tiara? Okay. What next? They going to kill someone?
同じ王族として
I guess.
今の私に彼らは許せない。あなたたちは国王となって何をしたいと望みましたか？もし
Money.
そこに最初に民の姿を見出せなければそれまでです。
Oh.
誰よりも清い心を持ったレオン様を否定する権利などありはしません。出過ぎた真似を。
姉君、大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫。
プライド。
No.
ありがとう。
レオン様、誇ってください。愛してください。求めてください。あなたの心も、そしてあなたの愛したこの国も、 こんなにも美しいのですから。私のせいでこの数日間どれほど彼は苦しんできただろう。自国への愛に苛まれながらもそれを表に出そうとせずに耐え続け、取り繕って演じ続け、気取られぬように心を殺し続け、私に笑み愛を囁いてくれた。本当は誰よりも泣き出したいくらいに辛かったのに。よかった、彼にアネモネ王国を返せてよかった。
At what point is the story changed so much that what she knows about the story is, or about the game, is not going to come true? I mean, she more or less reverted the downfall of this kingdom, or the subsequent situations never happened. These two, I mean, first off, all the pub goers are not dead. These two don't get to be the king. They don't run the kingdom to the ground. They don't come to Leon. They don't kidnap Tiara. A lot of stuff doesn't happen anymore by just having removed these two. I wonder at what point is her knowledge not reliable anymore.
アネモネ王国に彼を返せてよかった。レオン・アドニス・コロナリア第一王子、あなたは辞める時も健
Is that a marriage vow?
やかなる時も止める時も貧しき時も自国の民を愛し守り、国がより良くなるように努め、彼らの生活を守り続けてくれると誓いますか？
誓います。
It feels like that she's becoming more and more the mom of all these characters, or the big sister. Even for Leon, it feels like more a mom-son relationship instead of a potential love. Also the other characters as well, which is a little bit weird, because they are clearly trying to build some romance, or at least showcase that some people would like some romance with her. Meanwhile, she is preoccupied doing stuff. We don't even know how much of this is her planning to do it, or more of, hey, this situation happens, I know what is going to happen, let me remedy that, and then I'm going to continue on my own. To be honest, I don't even remember if she even had something she wanted to do. You know, something outside the game. Don't remember.
グレゴリオ国王陛下、もう一つお願いがあるのですが、今回私に協力してくれた弟と騎士たちです。どうかその手を取って挨拶をさせてください。
もちろんです。
僕もぜひ。
Okay. Again, I mean, he doesn't look that bad anymore. Wait. Here he looks bad. He looks not good here. But after this little handshake, he looks a lot better. Maybe they forgot to draw in that. It's so long ago. Does he have a special ability to heal, maybe, to get rid of fatigue, to get rid of poison? Again, I'm assuming he got poisoned by the brothers. Is that what she wanted to do? Or did she just want to strengthen the relationship by getting them all introduced to one another?
これで大丈夫。ゲームの中で国王は酒場での騒ぎの責任を取らせてレオンを国外追放してフリージア王国に送った後すぐ病で急死してしまう。でもアーサーの特殊能力は万物の病を癒す力。さっきの表情を見るからにきっと今ので国王の病も治った。
Okay. It's so long ago, and especially the problem with all of these stories that are in a similar vein of like the Villainess. There are a lot of stories that the main Villainess, she's trying to do something to, in most cases, not end up dying or not end up being put into a monastery or exiled. So they try to do something along those lines, but they always get pushed into the game story and they have to finish whatever branch we are in right now, and then they go back to whatever they wanted to do to secure their future. And this is why I don't really remember if we had something like that here or if it's mostly Pride going from storyline to storyline, trying to get the best outcome for all of these storylines, which, as far as I remember, she is doing. I mean, the whole story with Val, I believe, if I remember correctly, the Shadrin should have died. Val is then more evil or more a danger, but now he's under her control. Same with Leon, he would be normally tortured and he would be a shadow of his former self. The kingdom would be on a downhill trend, but she also remedied that, which means again that the story is mostly changing, but changed already so much that I feel like a lot of the knowledge is not going to be valid anymore.
様。
今まで通りプライドで大丈夫です、レオン様。私たちは盟友なのですから。
And I guess I will find out if she had something going outside of the storylines, which I believe she did not.
なら僕のこともレオンと呼んでくれ。君にはそう呼ばれたい。
分かったわ、レオン。また会えるのを楽しみにしているから。
また？
ええ、また。
また。どうぞ。お先に。プライド。この恩は一生忘れない。もし君にフリージア王国に何かあった時は必ずアネモネ王国が、僕が何が何でも駆けつけるから。また会おう。何度でも君に会いに行く。そして何度でもこの愛する国で君を待つ。さようなら、愛しき我が婚約者。僕の初恋だった人。
So another one in her harem. This one's the most unlikely because Leon doesn't want to leave his home country. She doesn't want to leave her home country, so they are unlikely to ever get married. Should there be something happening where they get exiled though, then maybe. But can't really do much here. Now, again, memories, very bad. I feel like he's the one that got furthest with her, apart from the stuff beforehand. I mean, they were very close to trying to get the new generation started. But I feel like he's the only one that was able to get this far yet. Which means we are going to have a lot of jealous companions.
プライド様姉君
初恋プライドに私にというか恐るべし君彦シリーズ第1作目のお色気担当
I do wonder again because I can't remember. Was her plan to be the Heretical last boss or not? Again, I do not remember exactly. In some of these stories, they want to be the last boss. They want to have the story be pure. They want the story to unfold as it was whenever they read it or saw it. And in some cases, they don't want to. In some cases, they want to, but they fail. This could be one of those where she wants to be the last boss, but she's failing to do that. Again, Val is, if I remember correctly, Val should not be at her side. Leon naturally should not be. I believe mostly all of these people should not be at her side. She should be alone, right? So she's failing in the last boss department. Also, she did say the first game. I don't remember if we got told that before in season 1, but it could very well be that we are going to see characters of the second game as well. Because again, the story has shifted so much that there may be some irregularities coming in. This is what I would hope, that there are some irregularities going to come up because she changed the story too much. And she then has to think a little bit outside the box how to conquer the next male target for their storyline.